means a gatha, a story, a vartalap, a continuous story. And shalokana, which means that a war traditionally is always written in the format of paudi. And that paudi has a specific message to give. Miscellaneous shlokas that support that message, they were then compiled by the compiler, the fifth master, Sri Guru Arjan Dev Ji. They were not originally this way. The war, actually, the author of the war is Mahla Chautha. But the shlokas are from Mahla Pehla, Mahla Duja, Mahla Tija, Mahla Chautha. If there are shloks, but they have been combined or joined together, not by the original author, but by the compiler. The format it will run, it will say a shlok, then it will say a paudi. So it in alternate sequence. That's how it moves. So in the last paudi, the last lines of the paudi were Tud ape aap vartada sabni hi thai har tise te avo sant jano jo lay chedai, is being emphasized, all pervading, omnipresent. That has evolved erroneously, way of thinking that God is here, God is there, He lives here, whether it is in ninth dimension or first dimension, or it's in east or in west. That type of a thought still exists. That's why certain places around the earth have the root of conflict. That particularly the three major religions, Christianity and Islam, in Jerusalem, and all three religions consider it as a holy wall, and they go there and worship it. Yet, name of that wall, they kill each other because they want exclusive right to that particular wall. Thought was to be put to test. According to Sikhism, all very seriously mistaken, because one particular place, not only on this planet or any other planet or in any other galaxy, has no significance. Buying to narrow it down, actually that is a direct insult. That's a condemnation of the creative energy, that you exist here. This is the holy place because you exist here, including the prophets, the messengers. To take a particular spot in the historical sense and say, because this messenger appeared in this time and space on this spot, same as here, and you'll find that actually I was watching, it's Sunday on India, Bhikshu saying that anybody who needs to get the impact of the divine energy, they should go and sit under Bodhi tree, and they'll get it. And the crazy part is, the guy who's saying is right sitting next to that tree, giving that interview, and he himself doesn't look like an enlightened one, because if he was, he wouldn't say that. Childlike behavior, I won't call it childish, but it's a childlike, it's naive, it's almost innocent, it's almost ignorance to the deepest level. And Gurbani shatters that.
Blind faith.
Blindly following on a literal statement. In our last sitting, तो आपे आप वर्तदा सबनी ही थाई. You are manifesting everywhere, no exception to the rule. That point of holiness, this part is just as holy as would be Bodhi tree. What's missing here versus Bodhi tree? Somebody under Bodhi tree did so much of meditation that he was highest potential of human body form, which can be done right here. Documented that Buddha himself acknowledged it and documented it on the request of his wife, who directly challenged him. Why did you need to go somewhere? Could you have not done everything here? Yes, I could have, except nobody told me that and I didn't know it. Everybody said go out. This is not the place. This is the place of the people who are served ashram. They are producing children, they are raising children, they are earning for children, they are taking care of children. This is not a place for a bhakta. To you, that was a false statement. It can be today, having heard it, read it, translated it, for the last 3,000 years, still repeat the same thing. If you want to achieve an enlightenment, go to Gaya and meditate. If saying that there is energy that might help you, it will be a totally different story. But then it doesn't sell. Then the visitors don't go. They don't try. They don't take money and spend it over there. Took that out, and guess what Sikhs did? If you want to meditate, you should go to Hemkund. Same game. Courage or guts, either to say it, not only to say it, but to listen it and tolerate it, much less to do something about it. Jano jo lay chadai. And the joiner with that statement, that if you are going to meditate, then you should only meditate on that energy, help you to raise your own consciousness so that you can free yourself from the bondage of life and death. Lay chadai, to pull you out of the bondage. Chadauna, ये इसकी जमानत दे के जेल से छुड़वा के लाया हूं. We do that. Then it happen. Next shloka. Phakarh Jaati, Phakarh Naaon. It happened. He said, here's the reason. Of the tribe you belong to. Pride, nationality, name, fame, away from the universality of the message. Have a big enough heart and say, this is a message from the higher self. There is no name, no fame. You don't have to say it is from Nanak. You don't have to say it is from Muhammad. You don't have to say it is from Jesus. Because the moment you say it, The message belongs to Nanak. Guess what? Today. And we think we are glorifying his name. Take a statement from the Quran and take the name of Muhammad and then immediately say, peace be with him. A standard disclaimer immediately as soon as you take the name of anybody from Muhammad's family or Muhammad or any apostles that have come up from them, they immediately say, peace be with him. A moment, is this my statement that's causing the peace to him? Would he be insulted? Would he not be peaceful? It is his statement, I am glorifying Muhammad, the son or Phakarh, the last Phakarh messenger of God. Our glorification. When you will say, God is done, he created this, you just put a limit on it. That's not his glorification. You haven't done justice. Do it. He said, Jaati. Two. The urge to highlight. This is from, see, Sikhs are saying it. Nanak is saying it. Nobody else knows this. We do. Not abused. For the recorded consciousness, billions and billions of people have come on this earth and left the earth. To some extent, every mystic has said that. It's only the people who were reading it and interpreting it and following it, they needed to limit it to their own being, their own doing.
Good. It's getting hot.
This is fine.
This is quite nice.
This is okay actually.
Better.
Yeah.
No, I mean, shut off the heater, I can understand that, but you may want to turn on the light.
Hit the light off.
That light, क्यों लगा?
Yeah, today I told there was a lot of light today.
This is very good.
Yeah, this is fine. It happened nicely. We need some cooling.
To avoid the labels.
Oh, I was trying to so hard. That's fine.
And so.
मैं बंद कर दिया, निकाल देती हूँ.
It is on.
Oh, yeah, if it's shut, it's okay. No, I just saw the red light. So.
So the power is there.
Okay. Enough of distraction. Let's get back.
Very good.
Phakarh now sabna jiya eko chao. Literally means not chaya. Literally means nohar. Now, aura. When we meet somebody and they have a certain persona, which from the outer side what it is, but there is a certain sensation about that persona. He says the inner persona of every individual on the planet, not just humans, not just birds, not just animals, the inner reflection is the same. Okay? That is making everything sound alive, feel alive, appear alive. That energy is just one and the same. I have been, since watching National Geographic and that Darwinian and Einsteinian theories and all that, I've been studying on the internet quite a bit. And I was curious, did Darwin ever touch what makes something alive? That this is one area that humanity has and probably will never find out as something actually alive. What makes something evolve? Pick up the pieces by examples. Everything starts with a living cell. What makes that cell a living versus a dead cell is not within the domain of science, the greatest of the scientists. As we speak, there are experiments being conducted that if we take all of the building blocks, elements, and they did that experiment. The ammonia, the acids, whatever they need to in certain proportion, put it in a test tube and pass the electric spark through it and see what happens. And see that there is a compound made and there is a protein cell made there. But that's about it. They can't go beyond that. Going to give up, we are going to produce life on this planet, and there is nothing mystical or a higher source. Just as the religious minded people are trying to prove, or not prove, but just say it is that way. Science is saying that we are going to disprove you someday. And at least in limited time, I found those disclaimers everywhere. I found that in Einstein's life, I found that in Darwin's life, and the modern scientists who are doing this. I found that when, if any one of you remember on the quantum theory, what the bleep do we know? We discovered there that there is something mysterious going on, we don't know. That's the life pattern. Science is in a quandary. The biggest conflict under science today, you may or may not know, is from smaller to the larger with the physical laws of Newton, the Einstein, and other physical laws of gravity, electromagnetism, etc., etc., etc. But when they move backward and break the atom and go deeper than the atom, all physical laws break it. So Newton's philosophy falls apart and Einstein's philosophy falls apart. And the struggle between the scientists is if it is a universe that's interconnected, there has to be a one uniform law to be able to explain both extremes. Earlier models were used to explain with the help of ping pong ball or billiard ball. An atom is a billiard ball, so crosses, slashes, etc., etc. Nowadays they are trying to do it with a string. It's called string theory, or some of you might have read it. And the string theory has thrown up the hands. We cannot explain it. Not suggest us to waste time on this. Sweeping statements say Shabana Jiya Eko Shao. That energy that is making it work, you are not going to be able to put it in any concise place. They showed an experiment in the quantum theory where they were saying, well, this particle is here and here simultaneously, and they took the picture. Explain that. So they say, no, that there's something wrong with your camera, or the speed of that particular particle is so much that the camera couldn't catch it, and it appeared to be at the two places. And then that experimenter said, okay, well, two places I can understand. So then if you recall that scene where the ball was bouncing on the whole court, so they showed that particular particle spread all over the place, same particle. Keeping this in your focus, not that a Sikh is supposed to take something blindly. If science says, logic dictates, you need to pay attention to it. And we do. Anywhere else, and again, this is not a glorification of Sikhism. It's a statement of the fact that if you go to church and say, Bible doesn't accept anything more than 5,000 years, and we have skeleton here, we can show you it is millions of years old, and say that's false. What do you mean? Well, Bible may not be calling what the 24-hour day that we think is a day, or a 365 days year that we think. Bible may not be calling that as a unit of measure. So if they are saying 5,000 years, their years could be what? How do you know? So Gurbani doesn't postpone it. He says you can take it to the bank. One life force. They are interpreting it and saying my definition is better, and then what happens? Ape apo je ko bhala kahai. My definition is better, right? Apo je ko bhala kahai. If somebody is indulging in self-glorification, then you go and argue and fight with that person. To do in such a case, the person who keeps on saying mine is better. As a matter of fact, it's literally written in the Quran. One of these statements says that if you think that you are better, then show, write like these things are. The way that poetry is written. You say, if you can compose something like that, then you can come back to me and say you are better. If you can't compose with that flow, with that beauty, with that type of it, you have no right to tell me that this is not the highest level. They are useless. But using their force. So what are we supposed to say then when the person is in? Here is the litmus test for you. In such case, Nanak ta par jape jam pat lekhe pae. You going to be honored at the ultimate creative energy or not? What we as a group has been following. No judgment about any ritual, any practice, any discipline, any idea, any thought. Only one test. Is Kam, Krodha, Lobh, Moh, Hankar coming down or not? Because that's what is getting you closer to the creative energy. Ultimation and transcendence of the 5 major evils of humanity, if they are coming down, for heaven's sake, keep on doing what you're doing. You don't need to look for any guru, you don't need to change, you don't need to consult, you don't need to compare. Because don't count the trees, the fruit is already there. And Nanak ta par jape, par uthe jaake pata lagega ki jaan pat lekhe paaye. Uthe pat da matlab literally respect, izzat. If you get that in that domain, then whatever you're doing is fine. Otherwise, I am okay with that, then walk away. जिस प्यारे से उन्हें हो तिस आगे मर चलिए. It becomes confusing when you try to take it literally. Just the one you are in love with, you should die in his feet or her feet.
I was wondering what happened in misprint or something.
प्यारे सो नेहो. If you aim of love and you want, आगे मर चलिए. The only possibility of you playing that game is when you have completely surrendered your ego. An egotistical person can never play the game of love. Love means focus on completely, unquestionably on the other. Something for the self. Right? When a lover says, I love you, but you are supposed to love me back. Guess what? Saying, I am selling you this. Right? He's doing a business transaction. I should get this profit back from you. And he's glamour of the word love. हम तुझे प्यार किए जाएंगे. ना करो, हम तुझे प्यार किए जाएंगे. कभी करके देखा है ऐसा? Anybody has that experience?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Whether you give me the love or not, I will continue loving you.
Okay.
Is it?
I'm not answering that.
Fifth Amendment, self-incrimination. Now, none of us have. Because our love always have few conditions. Whether spoken or unspoken, written or unwritten, said or not said, it's irrelevant. Lovers cannot disagree. Lovers cannot fight. Lovers cannot get angry with each other. Lover cannot demand from the other. Lover is always ready to give everything that he or she can offer. This is talking about. Just प्यारे से होने हो. That you are playing the game of love, let's say with God. Let's not with a human. Then what? This आगे मर चलिए. मर चलिए the meaning है finish that I, which is judging what I am getting back. Yeah, I love God. Everybody loves God. That love, I am only doing the prayer. Please don't do this. I am saying please. That's a prayer. I should have the right to say that. Or please do that. 9% of the human existence is under that confusion. Confusion by saying you are not allowed to do any other prayer except. You're not supposed to ask anything else. That's it. That's all kripa you want. I just need that, the strength to follow through that, your blessings, so that I can raise myself to that level on my own worshipping, own meditation, own work of cleansing my mind-body system, where you can then just is the game of love. Yeah.
Of Shabri and all, Kabir and all, they're not asking anything. Shabri ne bear khilaaye Ram ko.
Oh, I see. No.
There are a lot of
अच्छा,
such instances.
आप भीलन की बात कर रहे हैं.
A lot of there are instances where they were not asking anything. They were just giving love.
No way to judge that. The story basically is that Ram was visiting a place. Bhilan, who was actually a Malan by profession, went to the park and brought some bear. I don't know what the English word for bear is.
Some berries.
Okay, so picked up some berries. And before he presented to him, she had tasted every one of them. And the people got mad with her. Stopped those people and said, look inside her. She's protecting me so that it should not be bitter or it should not be poisonous. That's why she tasted it. That's the story. It's not a question of true love. It's difficult to say simply because to me Rama is not a spiritual being. He's a king, as it has been believed of the ultimate creative energy. Because he himself didn't claim anywhere. He didn't declare it. None of his actions actually proved it to be. He turned out to be a very successful king. Ram Rajya is very, very good example for a king to follow. The love. नेहो तिस आगे मर चलिए तिग जीवन संसार ताके पाछे जीवन. Doubt that type of love, then you are living in the world of Maya. Tig जीवन, that life is wasted then. तो आप ये चंद सूरज दोए दीवे. So you can see how the shloka match now with the paudi, right? Phakarh Jaati Phakarh Naaon sabna jiyan ikka chhao. Paudi starts with Tud ape dharti sajiye chand suraj doe dive. You are the creator of these planets. The earth and the moon and the sun, they are just like two lamps for the earth. Das char hat tud sajya vapar karive. Das char means 14. 10 plus 4. Reference to the Vedantic philosophy, where they have counted they have considered their now Khand Prithvi, सात बड़े समंदर हैं, सात पानी हैं, ऐसे everybody has given their own division. So Gurbani is actually referring to one of the Vedantic divisions. It says Das char hat tud sajya, means 14. It's just referencing to what people have counted, said all of them to the Sajya. Oh yeah, that Veda said 14 and Granth says 14, so there must be 14. Is a finite number.
Hati.
Places Hati. The word Vapar karive. Vapar kate karida hatiyan te. Meaning live the life in 14 different dimensions or galaxies or whatever you want to call it. It's not to be taken literally. Gurbani basically saying whatever is the creation. If this Veda says 14, that says now, that says 9, that says 10, not a concern, because none of them really know. Creation is not finite. You cannot know. जो गुरुमुख थीवे, the real encouragement to the mankind, that in all of his creation, and what is the creation doing? Vapar karive. It's a transactional things going on, action and reaction going on. There are souls, there are entities on this planet and on all planets, which do what? Ikna nu har labh de jo gurumukh dive. Those who are living the life according to the advice of the Guru, Gur Mukh, came from the mouth of the Guru. Anybody who follows that is called Guru Mukh. Those who are following that, they are doing the business, same business, transactions are the same, but their business is profitable. Ikna no har labh de. Profitable business. What happens to them? Tin jam kal na vyapai jin sach amrit pive. Those who are on that path of the truthfulness, they become free of time and space bondage. Jam kal means time. छोटे परिवार स्यों तिन पिछे सब जगत छुड़ी वे. That they end up becoming the motivation for a lot of others. Kind of a lighthouse for others also follow the same process as they did. This body ends. I think we have time for one more. So, Shlok Mahela Pehla. Now the next starts the Shlok again. Kudrat karke vasya soe vaso banda hoye. Karke vasya soe.
Kudrat means nature.
Kudrat means the entire creation. And after creating is sitting inside. He is living inside that creation. Vasajana, to create something and then sit back into the creation. Karke vasya soe. That because humanity as such knows only one thing, that if you make something, you are separate from it. Your creation is separate from you. You make a statue, you are separate from statue. You make a painting, you are separate from the painting. Song, a poem, beauty is that he created a statue, then he got inside the statue himself. Asha's body is ready to manifest. He gets in and starts manifesting himself through Asha. Single cell on this planet, there is not a single microbe, there is not a single virus which does not have that energy. And kill the virus, right? But before life, it was multiplying itself, it was propagating. You kill all the bacteria. But before the penicillin, bacteria is alive. There's a life in there. And you can see under the microscope alive bacteria and the dead bacteria. That's how the drugs are tested. Isn't it? Humanity completely goes bonkers. That's why all of the argument about the fetuses, about the abortions, about the birth, about the tragedy, about the limbless, about the hunger, about this and that. Ani is saying, Kudrat work karke vasya soe, waqt bichare so banda hoye. He exists on this planet with the capability to be able to see through this puzzle. Cannot is not honoring being a human being.
Vakar.
Translated it is sama, time.
Okay.
But here it's being used that puzzle, difficult puzzle. है ना कि मेरा वक्त पै गया मैंने. Means it's a difficult puzzle. If you difficult puzzle, life as a human being will go into a revolution. Understand that and accept that in principle, not just intellectually, but with all your being. With me, who are you getting angry with? Is it not? If you're killing, who are you torturing? Internalizing of a single statement can revolutionize your life. With me only because you think I am not him, or I'm not part of him, or he has nothing to do with me.
Or the ego is hurt.
Same thing. Your own ego is separate from him. That's why it is sitting there. And you are taking my ego and willing to step on it just as well. Just take this statement and meditate on it, and this disappears. कुदरत है कीमत नहीं पाए. You are limit of the nature. You are not going to be able to value it. You can value only something. This is 5 pounds, so I have a value for 5 pounds. But if it is infinite pound, what value you will put? पाए. You cannot. जहां कीमत पाए तो कहीं ना जाए. Go ask those who have seen it, and you ask them, can you tell us how big it is? नियत करो बेचार, बिन बूझे कैसे पावे पार. Sarah Sariyat. Sarah word comes from Shara. Islamic way of living the life. That means Shara. शरा के मुताबिक अपना स्वभाव बनाना, उसको कहते हैं शरा. आपकी शरीयत जो है वो शरे के मुताबिक है. अरे थिंक अबाउट इट. शरे शरीयत करो विचार. असली शरह जिंदगी की क्या है? तरीका क्या है? व्हाट इज द वे टू लिव? द प्रोसेस ऑफ लाइफ. Taught me like this, or my priest taught me like that. You are not excused from the responsibility because you just heard somebody say it, including what you are hearing today. Saying anyway, he said it must be right. Then you are not being what? वक्त विचारे सो बंदा होए. You are actually derelict in your responsibility as a does not question the master. The dog sit. He doesn't ask why. Come back and then sit down. Be a human. To do what? शरीयत करह विचार. I was sharing with Pratima the other day. The oldest son of the founder of Hamas and adopted Christianity, and he is living here in San Diego, and the movie is now on the internet. And in answer to the questions, he says, well, he gives all how all this thing came. All of the writings that came after Muhammad to Medina, okay, any one of them Human being who reads that and accepts it as a word of God needs to get his head examined. The statements of universal nature Quran before Muhammad moved to Medina. He was the leader. Then he became a warlord, power hungry like anybody else. Started spreading the Islam on the strength of the sword, and he started fighting the wars, and all of the writings justified those wars. So what's happening? The militant group quotes the quotations from second half of the Quran, and rest of the majority is reading the first half but saying anything negative about the total Quran. So the majority also has to stay silent because it is written there. Whether they like it or not, it's there. And those people, well, they're all educated. I mean, and not only educated in the United States. Engineers and doctors and PhDs. With one qualifier to this. Wants to live entire humanity in the 7th century where man was the king of the world. Ego was at the highest level in the 17th century. Everything else was subordinate. Animals, women, birds, everything was subordinate. So today, to live in that level of existence, they are willing to kill themselves. Listen to that complete interview. It's quite mind-boggling. Why it comes to mind? Gurbani actually is saying it. Sare shariyat kare bichar. शरह के मुताबिक जिंदगी क्या होती है इसके अब विचार तो कर ले.
How did you try to shaha?
नहीं, सरह means शरह. शरीयत. आपकी शरीयत क्या है? आपकी शरह क्या है? In Christian world, why don't you think what Christianity means? If the Jesus saying love your enemy, those who live by sword will die by sword, and you are running on the crusades, don't you want to think about it? You run with the thought. And Sikhs have been explicitly said, Akli, Akal, Bujhiye. These are Bujharat, Bujhiye. These are literally riddles. They are not mysteries. Don't throw your hands up. I can't get it. They are. No, it's too difficult. I don't understand the language. I don't understand the meanings. And something is said here this way, others said that way, and its contradictions abound. Leave me alone. Tell me just simple things. Tell me what I should eat. Tell me what should I drink. Tell me should I sleep, and I am done. No, you are not done. It is not that simple. It's not your choice to make that simple. You have been here, given the capability, full capability, game of dharma, so that you do not have to repeat the cycle of life and death. You have to figure the way out. And Gurbani is encouraging. Saray sariyat karhe vichar, bin bujhe kaise paave par. And if you don't solve this, don't understand it, you are not going to be able to transcend the cycle of life and death. It's impossible. Kar sijda, man kar maqsood. These are all Islamic words. It's contentment. Right? You know, sajda means to bow before a deity. He says, bowing your head is not sufficient if you are not contented. The contentment needs to come. That's what surrendering means. If there is no contentment, surrendering has no significance. Should be the place of worship. Maqsood, masjid. Follow that. What will happen? Je dhir tekha, te dhir mahjood. Then you will be able to. Because what has happened? Mind has become the masjid, the mandir, the place of worship. So if you are looking through the eyes of the mind, then everywhere it will be the same. The difference comes only when you see with these eyes. These eyes cannot go beyond. Mind can go beyond and see, because mind has a thought. Thought can see the soul. Eyes cannot see it.
True.
Just depend on your eyes. And what did we do? We made a story. Dekhya sach te sunaya jhoot.
Don't believe it.
Don't believe it. If you just hear it, that could be a lie. That can be a lie too. Not only the optical illusion. You see somebody with a robe and dress and a long beard and all that, what are you going to do?
To see through him.
Right? These eyes are only going to see the robe and the dress and the beard and throne of hair and a lot of bangles and a lot of mala and
Best return on investment. Money.
Add with me in that is you could have made a lot of money by doing that, and you guys, we could have partaken of some of those wealth.
We would be coming here, sitting and talking. No.
One day they were ready to say, I'll invest in that. I buy you the robe and you just agree, throw your hair back, and you don't have to talk. We just will propagate. India se santa hai.
Doing jobs.
No, but that's what happens. It's a very common. Man kar maqsood, jeh dhir dekha, te dhir mawjood. If you are seeing through the eyes of the mind, then I guarantee you, wherever you will see, he will be there. Insist on these eyes. He will always be a thief in your eyes, always be a liar, a cheat, and all of that. Somebody with just chain dress, and it's not just in the name of the religion, has documented that when the very first time Bahadur Shah Zafar asked him to come to his darbar to say his latest poem, and his wife said, Miyan ji, at least have a ਜਿਹੜੀ ਮੁਸਲਮਾਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਚੋਗਾ ਨਹੀਂ, there is a शेरवानी या शेरानी, शेरवानी. आपके पास तो शेरवानी नहीं है, अच्छी शेरवानी तो खरीद लो. Now he said to his wife, don't you think that Bahadur Shah Zafar has seen very beautiful sherwanis? He shot off good ghazals. So, do that. Very close, and the person who's standing on the door
Would let him in.
would let him in, and he did. And he said, no, I am Ghalib. He said, yeah, you are Ghalib, I am Shah Jahan. Get out. Went to the next door neighbor, borrowed a sherwani with a proper topi and as a dress up, with proper pajama and proper Lucknow shoes. And as soon as he getting closer to the door, the Darban, the guy on the gate, came into attention, saluted, didn't even ask. So he went in. He introduces himself to Bahadur Shah Zafar, then takes out the sherwani and puts next to Zafar and starts doing salam to the sherwani. You know, Badshah Salamat, this is no joke. Come, sherwani has come. It so happened sherwani was carrying inside the Ghalib. In your the real person who has real thing that has come is sherwani, because your Darban would not let me get in. So what I'm saying, that it is not just in the world of religion or spirituality.
That's right.
Any country and be able to drive a car which has a state symbol on it or a country symbol on it, what do you think is going to happen?
Everybody does that. Yeah.
They don't know who's inside. They just salute the car and just go. What's going on here? Conditioning of the mind to look at the outside with these eyes and make a decision and react to it. And Gurbani is saying, Sidq kar sijda, man kar maqsood. And the power to see through the eyes of the mind, not the eyes of the body. That you have done it, here is the test. Jeh ter dekha, teh dher mawjood. Then wherever you will see it, only he will be visible. Experienced it in my own life. I had a friend who was visiting me, and I have told you this story before. I'm just reminding you that with his wife and children from New Jersey, and after the dinner we were sitting like this, and this couple is sitting like here and I am sitting there, and this young man says to me, Jaswant, today you really convinced me that God is in everyone. Or convinced? He said, touch Bhabhi's feet. तो कट सकता है, बीवी के सामने नहीं झुक सकता.
Translated. He was honest. Translated.
Yeah, translated means.
When he said, God is in everyone, I said, touch the feet of your wife. And he said, I can cut this head off, but not put the head on my wife's feet. You are insulting me as a man. I said, no, I wasn't insulting you as a man. I was just testing you. Do you believe God is in everyone? So if you cannot see the God in your wife, where is everyone?
Except wife. I'll do it.
No, he didn't. He said, well, okay, it's difficult.
Brain was not building.
He went back unconverted.
Does he call you back?
No, his wife did.
What have you started?
He says, every time we visit him, don't you get started on the Gurbani again. Don't start those topics with him. It's too much. There
is a beautiful song on that.
Very nice.
गुरबानी क्या कह रही है? हम गाते थे, शीशा अब साफ नहीं है तो मुखड़े को क्या धोए, शीशा धोखा दे के पगले क्या होए. which is a self-delusion, self-deception. Thing that I am saying today that you haven't heard before or read before. Shaking hands, yup. Well, I think we need to wait for the next cup of tea and see what happens. फिर देखा ते धीर मौजूद गुर सभा एव ना पाइये ना नेड़े ना दूर. Big hit at the particularly what we are doing today. Gur Sabha. By sitting next to an enlightened person, means Guru. Just by sitting next to him, you are going to be able to get him. We are so anxious. If we hear, then we want to touch their clothes or we want to look at them. अरे इतना ही काफी नहीं है, वो भी प्रचार करते हैं गुरु दक्षिणा का. मैं आज Rajneesh did that for close to 27 years. He did not do that for 3 years of his first coming out of in the public. From 71 to 73. 75. 3-4 years he was quiet. I met him in 67 and I left there at 71. Till that he has not yet started it. I think in 73 he declared to the world that he is ready to take the disciples. And that was his way of doing it. He will first give his murti to put it on the necklace and then he will touch the forehead. And I have literally talked to the people who said when he touched my forehead, my third eye was open. I said, what's he doing here now? Your third eye was open then, how did it close again? गुरु से एनर्जी का ट्रांसफर होना. That. गुरबाणी अपना आपे ही का सवारी है. This is something that you have to do yourself.
But you do, right?
Just like this, right? I mean, this is inspirational chat, which is what this is saying. गुर सभा एव ना पाइए. गुरु के जाने से ही नहीं प्राप्त होता कुछ. वाई रे ना दूर. सभा में जाने की क्या जरूरत थी फिर? वो सभा में ही बैठा है क्या? He's here. He's neither far neither close. He's everywhere. And if you think, well, since I'm not getting anything here, let me go and meet so and so, because I have heard that so and so is enlightened. That's not going to happen. That is a very, very wrong promise. Nanak Sadgur ta mile ja man rahe hadur. Mind stays with him Vidam. Day night. Sada. Hadur means in the presence. If the thought is in his presence without interruption, including the sleep, including the wake, including the eating, drinking, taking shower, making love, it doesn't matter what you're doing. If he is in your mind present, then you can expect to see some grace from him. Deep Sapat Sagara Namkhand Char Ved Dast Asht Purana. Again the mythological ginti Sapat Deep. लोगों ने 7 दीप बनाए हैं. मीनिंग deep literally means that part of the land which is surrounded by the water all around. Continents. Yeah. Not island. Island is too small. Earth by some measure is divided into 7 segments, and the central segment is where India is considered to be. Okay? Saptasagara, 7 oceans. Navkhand means 9. Now, again, those are the Vedantic way of dividing the earth. Asht Purana, 10 Asht, 10 plus 8, 18 Puran. Which tu vartada har sabna bhana. This is, it does not matter how much literature is there. It does not matter how large the size is. It does not matter how many pieces you cut it into. Each piece will still have your presence. ते आवे जी जंत हर सारग पाना जो गुरमुख हर आराध दे तिन हाओ कुर्बाना. सब तुझे ध्यावे. One of them is in your ध्यान. सब ये नहीं है कि सारे ही तेनू याद कर रहे हैं. जो सारे याद कर दे तो असी ते कानू बैठे होंगे. That's not what he's saying. सब तुझे ध्यान, मतलब तेरे ध्यान विच हन सारे दे सारे. Everything. आराधते. But those who are in touch with you, you are in touch with everybody. No question about it. Touch with you, say now, there are very few. Who are those? Jo Gurmukh har aradhate. Who have accepted the guidance of the Guru. Tin hao kurbana. It does not mean that I am to them. Nahi. Tin hao main unna de kurban ja rahe hain. That's the wrong translation. Tin hao kurbana means they have sacrificed their ego how on you. They have surrendered your ego. Tin hao kurbana. उन्होंने कुर्बानी कर दी कादी अपनी हाउ दी, अपनी मैं दी. Their self, their ego has been surrendered to you. Tu ape aap vartada kar choj vedana. You are playing like a little child. चोज करना वाला little खेल खेलने, बच्चियों वाले खेल खेलने. So it is all your game, it's all your play, and you are doing it. And few of those toys that you have, to accept it, internalize it, then implement it. Once they implement it, then you grace them with your presence on them. So I think so. This is the page 84 from Shlok Mahla Tija.